And let's stick with this top story because we have reached an eyewitness to these missile attacks in Kyiv. Christina Katrakis is an ambassador with the Foundation for United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Thank you so much for making time for us.
Thank you, Natasha.
Christina, as much as you're able to, can you describe to me where you were when the latest series of attacks hit Kyiv?
Well, actually, we were in the house, and my son went out with a grandpa to the shop to buy bread, and the explosion happened right in front of our house, right across the street. That's Protasiv Yar. In fact, that's the visual you were showing with the big crater and fire coming out. That's right across from us. And so the fear and the moment where you don't know where your child is was overwhelming. I'm an American here with my family and a 7-year-old. Remained to run the mission of humanitarian aid and refused to leave the country since the beginning of the open war conflict. But this is the terrorist tactics that Russians are using. Basically, bombing on celebration days such as New Year or closer to Christmas, bombing in the morning when people go to school, when people go to work, students go to colleges and they get bombed right away. This is, in fact, you're showing right now a bomb shelter of my son's school right next to our house that got hit this morning, and the building across from his school, from Mark's school, got hit as well. That's the building. So this is supposed to be the safe route for kids. And my question is, what is safety and who is safe at this point in Ukraine generally? But this triggers not just the safety of Ukraine, this triggers the safety of the world because it's a terror attack, just as 9/11 was.
Christina, and as we're speaking to you, there's a bit of noise, a bit of feedback, and I wonder, is some of that sound, is that just background sound, or is there an alarm going off somewhere? What is the atmosphere like around you right now?
Well, we have alarms going on and off. Half of the city is without light and water and heat, as you know, and this is New Year, right? So this is a very hypocritical way, the way Russia greets people with New Year, while saying that, we want peace or negotiations. This is the hypocrisy of the highest. But my message is, and this is something I really want to deliver, is, I'm a mother. And so I would like to address it for once, not as an ambassador for the Foundation for United Nations SDG, but as a mother of a 7-year-old. And when I hear comments from our Western partners and Americans, Canadians, Australians, European partners saying, well, what else can we do? We're giving weapons, we're giving financial aid. My response to that, okay, think of it is as if you would have a child, okay? And that child, you can buy toys, you can buy games, you can buy love. If you really want to show that you are with us, that you are with the people of Ukraine who are defending right now the West and the Western values and democracy with their own lives daily, then you go and you fight shoulder to shoulder like you did in World War II. Don't wait for another Pearl Harbor to happen, because with players like Iran, Russia, North Korea, and China, it will happen. So that's what you do.
Christina, I'm so intrigued by what you're saying, because this was a conversation very early on, almost now a year ago. Will the West step in and participate in a combat manner in this war? And up and down the line across NATO, we have heard, no, we will not. We will provide money, support, sanctions, weapons, but we are not sending soldiers into this fight. Do you think that needs to change now?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It needs to change, or it will be too late for the world. Remember history. Remember what happened to Poland when Poland got invaded by the Nazis, and the world was watching the way Nazis were killing Jews, committing genocide, just as Russians are committing in Ukraine right now, and doing nothing until Pearl Harbor, and then America got involved. So what I'm saying, don't wait until it's too late for everyone. It's already happening. If you don't understand that the third world has begun, it begun, and it's happening, and the action is needed right now, or it will be too late for all. As I said, if you want to show love to the child, you go and play with the child. You stand shoulder and shoulder as Canadians used to do in World War II, as Americans used to do in World War II. And that's how we show.
Forgive me for interrupting, but I just don't want us to run out of time, because the other issue that will naturally come up from this conversation is many will say we can't get to peace with more war. What you essentially might be asking for here is World War III, for the West to step in once again and engage in combat in Europe. So there's quite a bit of reluctance that this wouldn't necessarily stop the war. It would only heighten it, and only more lives would be lost as a result. If we're talking about children, then should more sons and daughters from other countries also be putting their lives on the line? I'm just putting that out to you as a response you and I both know is going to be to what you are saying.
You know, if you guys think that the Third World War hasn't begun, you're mistaken, and you're not reading the history. As I said, you know, World War II, we waited till it was too late. And it was too late for thousands and thousands of innocent people, including Jews, who suffered. How far are you willing to wait until it gets to your home, until bombs start hitting your houses? Because if Ukraine fails, there'll be no shield to protect the rest of the world from this terror. And announcing Russia a terrorist state and not acting upon it, not acting to stop the actual terror, is the height of hypocrisy. And that terror will come to you.
Let me ask you, before we conclude, how is your son, and how long will you stay in Ukraine with this ongoing battle?
Well, we're staying until the end. You know, this is something that a decision we made from day one, and we do not betray people that rely on us. We have thousands of refugees, IDPs relying on our aid daily. You know, we have 5,000 only at our base and many, many at the front lines. And we are not, you know, leaving people behind. And that's what Canadians used to do, and that's what Americans used to do, and Europeans used to do during the World War II. And this is the time to show that you are sisters and brothers, and you're standing shoulder to shoulder, and you're not leaving people behind. So right now it's New Year. It's time for resolutions, you know, to be better. You know, so my question is, what is your resolution? Are you going to continue watch Ukrainians die, children die, like a sitcom on TV, or are you going to act? So if your resolution is to act and do something about stopping the terror, then please do. This is your chance. This is New Year.
Okay. I want to thank you so much for your time, and I want to wish you a happy and safe New Year. Christina Kratakis, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Happy New Year.